also looked into, so Dom might just not get away with this cleanly. And we're off for 27 laps of racing action. V6 keeps the lead, but that doesn't seem all too tidy. Dom takes the lead now. They all go across on the outer side. They take that right-hander. And the pits get to go.
Oh, Dom goes very wide on turn 1, almost crashes into the wall, but that was a great save nonetheless.
And even then, he went on the curb a tad bit more and went two-wheeling.
So right now it's a fierce battle in the lead. For the lead right now we have Pailuka, but right behind him is Aturnus attacking him. As we can see right now, Aturnus has taken the lead from Pailuka. Third place goes to Ni, fourth place goes to Jaden, Dom takes fifth, and Big Asuga aka Twin Turbo V8 is currently in 6th.
And it becomes interweather.
Is there any drivers risking to pit this early, or are they going to stay out for one more lap?
I think it's a safe bet to go on wets for now. The tyres, well, the rain isn't going down that quickly, so they still got a little bit of grip left. The people at the back could take the chance to pit, but those people are actually way closer than I might have thought, so they've got a better chance to just stay out. So two AlphaTauris now battling for the lead, with Red Bull following suit in third, Ni. Oh, and where are the Ferraris and Alfa Romeos? So they're a fair bit behind, 2 seconds behind, so that pit stop will help them out if their competitors get 5 seconds worth of pit stops, whereas they only get 2. But that can go both ways. So Ni already with a warning, as with Elvis, so it doesn't seem to be too certain for how this race will go for them. 2 more of those and they'll just get a penalty. So it looks like we've got a Red Bull in the lead again. It reminds me a lot of yesterday. Exactly.
But that said, in this time there's only one Red Bull, whereas yesterday there's a Red Bull 1 too. So as you can see right now, Dom stays out, and so is Ni, and so is Aturnus. The only one that's making it into the pits is Pailuka in the Audi, making the pit stop for Inters.
So Pailuka made a very smart move there compared to the rest. I'm not sure what they're doing, but they won't have a great race because of that. They might just end up behind Pailuka, Big and Jaden. The question is if they can regain that, but we'll see if they can actually stay ahead now, because we're not all too certain, but it's just common knowledge that if you pit or for Inters in these kind of conditions, you're going to have the edge. Dom makes a mistake, goes on the curb, but as I was saying, Malaysia, for example, if you don't take your choice to go on the Inters or don't take your chance, then you lose massively. So that's what's going to happen here.
Yep, exactly. The tire wear-off is very dramatic here in this game, especially in Iron Formula Racing. If you continue to be on the wets for just one lap, you could lose plenty of seconds here. So we can see Dom going into the pits, Ni still staying out. What is he doing?
That's an interesting choice from him. Maybe he's just got more grip on those. Oh, he's on rich fuel as well, and it seems like he's just conserving his fuel compared to the others who are expecting to go on hot lap the inside zone.
So as you can see right now, I think V6 is also staying out in the wets as well. So these are the only 2 drivers remaining, has yet to pit.
Alex predicting Ni to go to dries, which is a bit outrageous considering it's not cloudy. It won't go under 25% normally.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. It's not cloudy. So there's a very, very, very minute chance that it is suitable for slicks at all. But as we were speaking right now on the camera, Dom is side by side with Pailuka, overtakes him for 3rd place. But since Ni and V6 has yet to pit, this could be the effective leader of the race.
I'm actually surprised by how much the rain is going now, and I wouldn't expect that normally. I've been saying that a lot, but that's the truth. We've got a Red Bull nearly spinning out there. That's Jar. Air Turners flies against the barrier, but it's not enough to cause crash. No front wing loss, but we've got a lot of close encounters with the barrier there. V6 in the pits now, going on hards. That's an interesting strategy. One he'll live to forget after this weekend.
That's a very high risk move. The water percentage on the track. Oh, as I was saying, V6 just make a 360 no scope.
Where was the no scope? Who did he kill?
Unfortunately, he killed no one, nevertheless. But he has sacrificed a lot of positions.
So Nee still just hanging there like a cow on wets, but he's not going to last a long time. Dom already 12 seconds behind, that's enough to catch up as much as he needs, even if Nee takes the pit stop now, but he doesn't. Very bold. He doesn't have the grip needed though. And let's see what laps they're going to be. That is a 108. So Nee's best lap is a 104. That's 4 seconds slower. So Nee also losing 5 seconds a lap now, considering his current pace. But let's also keep in mind that Dom is on way lower fuel.
As you can see right now, V6 must be regretting his tire choice, making another pit stop.
Yep, that's what we discussed earlier. Hards aren't going to work on 22%. I suppose the drivers figured it would be going under 20%, which still wouldn't have made the difference. Like I said, it's not cloudy weather, it's light rain.
And light rain is just way too intense for the slick, it seems.
And will Nee be pulling into the pits now? Yes, he does. He gets bumped on the way in. Unfortunate, but it's not slowing him down too much. However, Dom now inherits the lead. Luca going in second. Jar across the final corner as well, but he is going into the pits.
So, with Nee pitting very late, he has no choice but to play a different strategy here today against the leaders of the race, which is Dom in the Red Bull. He could go with one pit stop less against him, unless there's a safety car which is going to benefit Dom, I believe. Actually,
So
never
Big
mind.
now salting Air Turnus, it seems. And he's got DRS too. Can we see a Ferrari in the top 3 at this stage in the race? I'd be amazed if they can keep it. Also, Air Turnus with the number 1, that might be looked into, but it will likely won't, considering nobody's allowed to use the number 1 aside from Max at this current stage.
I guess he was not aware of this rule. As we can see right now, the Ferrari driver of Bigasuga, aka Twin Turbo, closing in to put pressure.
He touches the barrier there a tiny bit, that's going to lose him some straight line speed compared to the leaders. He's got a track limit violation as well. 2 seconds slower than the rest, that's unfortunate.
A track violation is not going to help him at all.
But at this stage, pretty much everyone has one. Also, Nee is 30 seconds, or well, 13 seconds, 14 almost, behind Dom. And Dom just taking a regular Sunday drive here. Relaxing as Pi is 6.5 seconds behind, not even in the DRS anymore. Setting purple sector after purple sector, it seems. Well, we'll see if that applies to the last one as well. It looks clean, for sure. Oh, but it is in the purple sector. So Pialuka being gapped a serious amount. You can only pray for a safety car now. Big
Yep.
still following our turners. We've got Jaden in the back, nearly hitting that barrier, it seems like. He's being chased down by BT, 4 seconds behind. But in the DRS of lapped Max. V6 also pretty much last, dead last. The only person behind him would be Spectre Creator, who held start from pits earlier on.
Looks like a whiz in the McLaren has served his penalty due to excessive track violations. And he loses more time.
That's good though. If there's a safety car soon, then he can use that to his advantage. Because he's already got the penalty done.
Unless he gets another track violation, then yeah, that's not gonna help.
Oh, and it becomes regular rain now, so people will have to be starting with a switch to wets if they want to continue. But I don't think I've seen this much weather change before. But for now, inters are fine. Nee also taking an early pit stop, which is quite, well, it's bold, as has been his entire strategy. So he now exits on wets. Piavana also heading for the wets, as with Mercedes driver BT.
Do you think it's too early to go into the wets, or do you think it's better to stay out for one more lap?
Judging by how slowly the rain is going up, I think you can definitely survive a lap or more if you're the leader at the moment.
Feels like Alex has accidentally kicked one of the spectators, Lords. But nothing else interesting is happening except for the fact that the track water is slowly rising. Do you think the rain is going to be heavy enough to justify wet tires?
Right now? Or
Not
later
right now,
on?
but later on. Do you think it's
I
going to be
believe-
heavy enough?
I believe it will be heavy enough. It's not thunderstorms, of course, but it will likely be around the 50% mark. And 49% is already enough to call it quits with your wets. Or well, call it quits and get some wets.
I think it'll go between 40 and 50. I don't think it's going to exceed 50 at this rate.
Yeah, but it's still going to be enough for wets.
Well, let's see what will the drivers respond to these changing conditions.
So we've got Piavana and BT both fighting for track position here. For the 2 points that they'll be getting for that position. Chances are, though, they're going to overtake Leon, who still has to pit for wets. Dom as well. I believe the 2-lap mark has already been hit for the inters. So it really has been a slow process to get it to where it needs to be for wets. But it will happen.
Slowly but surely. So let's see, Nee in the wet tires. How fast is his pace right now compared against the other drivers who are currently in the inters?
Not fast enough.
So it
Yeah,
seems like Nee has pitted too early, huh?
Yeah, it looks that way. Everyone's still setting 110s while he's setting 113s. Maybe he's just lost his drive here. One would wonder. But he's also on rich fuel, so that might make all the difference. Dom's still on hot lap mix on 22.4% fuel, with half race distance left to go. Let me just calculate something real quick.
So we're at the halfway point of the race. 14 laps down, 14 more laps to go.
Dom's gotta start going to lean like real quick if he still wants to survive this race.
Ah, okay.
Let's imagine he burns 1.5% of fuel every lap. Then he's still just barely hanging on. So he switches to standard here. He might just be in the commentary VC as well, listening in. Yeah, he is. Okay. So best of luck to him.
Yep. Sometimes I just wonder whether your commentator details is just so detailed to the point where you become a race engineer at one point.
Well, I pretty much am. I'm managing Jaden and, well, I would be managing Big at the moment. But V6, indeed, as Lord says, recovery drive here after making a very big mistake when it comes to pit strat. Hards. I wouldn't really expect that in 22% either. Then again, if we look back at Season 2, there have been some awful strategy calls. I think about me starting on mediums in 70% range. Good
Well,
old days.
Even the very best making mistakes. Well, we can see right now V6 is catching up to Leon in the Braun GP.
Big still kind of fighting it out with Eternus here. They're not exactly gaining on each other, but they're not losing either. Well, and then again, Big has gained 6/10 in the last lap compared to Eternus.
And it looks like V6 has made himself clear and out of the way of Leon up to P8. And his next target, me in the Alpha Tower.
Sorry, but is the rain just stopping? Is it
Yeah.
not? Oh, it is still going up. Okay, apologies. Because Nee is still a second behind the pace of the Inter runners.
Yep, it seems like the rain is just simply not in the ideal condition for wets right now, it seems. It's rising very, 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 very slowly. 45 to 46 just now, 1 lap ago. But I think it's going to stop anytime soon.
Interestingly, Dom lapping 1.2 seconds quicker than Pailuka is at this stage. Pailuka on rich fuel mix, of course, and Dom on lean. That's quite the difference, but he was on hot lap earlier. So he's really just saving it here. So V6, warning, may that be a penalty? I think that would be a blessing in disguise for Piovana and Leon, who are somehow battling it out, but I think that battle's been sealed now that Leon hits his final curve. But it's not a penalty for V6, so Piovana can't take advantage. BT, however, does have a penalty.
And there goes Elvis, and Dom
Always going
laps
over
him.
all the bumps he can.
So as we can see right now, I think there's a battle brewing on between Bigasuga and Eternus. As we can see right now, Bigasuga is under pressure from the Alpha Tauri driver. Bigasuga now approaching the final chicane. Bigasuga, aka Twin Turbo, I keep forgetting his new name, is struggling under the pressure of the Alpha Tauri.
We've got a Ferrari in the top 3, by the way.
That's Twin Turbo. But how long can it last?
By the way, if Dom keeps up this pace, I might just have to say goodbye to one of my records.
Eternus is trying his very best to catch up to the Ferrari down into the very, very long straight, but there's not enough top speed to outspeed the Ferrari. Ooh, Bigasuga going wide. There's a door open, and Eternus takes the door.
But he's
Going
not going to make that
side.
last one out.
Yep.
Big does of course
Bigasuga
have
calls it.
13, but he goes on the curve. Is that going to cost him track position? It does for now, but he might just get a better corner here. Unless they both clip the curve, that would be interesting. But Eternus... Oh,
Oh,
yeah, that's
Bigasuga.
heartbreaking. Eternus takes the track position, but Big does take P3 as Pailuka pits.
But
After a
right now,
penalty.
there's another trap behind him. That is his
No,
No,
no, that's Pailuka and an Audi. Well, Pailuka is behind Jaden at the moment, and he's driving Alfa Romeo. All
alright.
red-coloured teams.
Yep, very difficult to distinct.
V6 drifting a fair amount actually. That doesn't seem all too healthy. Those tyres are going to be graining a fair amount. So it seems to have settled on 40% rain. I don't think Knee's bet for wet tyres going to pay off here. Which is odd considering that's how it should have happened. Dom setting 110s. That's 2 seconds quicker than Knee.
This is going bad for Lee right now.
By the way, BTTY having disconnected.
What is going on? FIA is calling it Max an idiot. What has happened?
Well, he should be being lapped at the moment, but I don't think he's. Oh, he's biting. Yeah, it looks like the game is trolling us here. So it is full dry conditions. Full dry.
Oh man, the game must know that the race must be really boring and decided, you know what? Let's change it up once again. So it seems like the drivers will have to try their best to cope with the inters until it's dry. So who's the first one to enter the pits? Let's find out. It's Leon. Leon is the first driver to make it into the pits. Is it too early? It's still 33%. It's going to be really difficult to warm up your medium compound, Leon. Are you sure you have pitted in time?
So the first car who's going to be able to pit would be Knee in this case. And I think he'll be quite glad to get rid of those wet tyres now.
Indeed. V6 also pitting as well in front of Knee.
He doesn't have much to gain from this actually, so that's an interesting strategy as well. So V6 and Dom having pretty much equal fuel. Big having 22, Turnus 60. So big in the pits.
And
He'll
so
be
is
having all the
Pailuka.
advantage here. Turnus as well. Pailuka, Ja. All following each other in. Jaden as well. Now V6 might just... No, he won't have an undercut on Jaden unless Jaden somehow has the worst pit stop in IFR history. Dom, however, keeping a comfortable lead. Piavana right ahead, but he is lapped.
Going to be lapped, that seems, unless he can decides to ignore the blue flags.
That would be interesting.
The FIA is calling out Piavana for blue flags. Seems like he's not responding to the blue flags at
I don't
all.
think he cares much at the moment.
Never seen Piavana getting lapped.
Oh, but Piavana's got more pace, so I believe he can keep it up here.
Yeah, you're right. Piavana is outpacing Dom.
Well, yes, he is on softs compared to Dom's medium.
So in this case, I believe that Piavana don't have... Yep, he's no longer in the blue flag range.
Eternus has spun round.
Oh,
Big
Oh.
taking P2, no, P3 it seems, Pailuka and P2.
and that's his teammate unlapping himself. from his teammate.
No, I think most of the drivers here would be begging for a safety car, especially Max, V6 even.
I'm pretty
it's
sure
not
the only
happening.
driver that's not wishing for a safety car right now is Dom.
Well, of course, he's on track to beat one of the records of longest win margin, if he can keep up the pace. We've got someone hitting bumps in the back there. That might be Jar, who loses track position to Air Turnus again.
Not sure what was he trying to do going on the grass there. Unless he's trying to make a WWE move.
Oh, Max hitting the curb there as well. It seems as if they're not having the best of times here.
Strange, isn't it?
Big takes P2. Big, the Ferrari driver. That's insane to imagine. Pailuka on softs, Big on mediums, and still somehow he finds his way past. This is beautiful. This is some of the best Grand Prix racing I've seen.
Is it just because that he's your driver?
Maybe, but also because he's on medium.
Well, true.
And
that.
he's facing a driver with less fuel than he has. So Dom setting 106s, Big setting laps 2 seconds faster. 2 seconds. You can't even imagine that. That's amazing.
That's impressive, not gonna lie.
Oh, but Big makes a mistake here, loses track position, but will he be able to get that back with the DRS?
Now it seems like it's Big's turn to play the hunter against Pailuka. Only time will tell whether he can catch up to him for second place. Meanwhile, a battle is brewing for fourth place between Ja and Turnus. Wait a minute.
And Turnus making the position up here.
Sorry to disturb you, but it seems like the FIA has just realized that the damage is not turned on.
Oh my god. Are you taking the piss? Oh my god, no. How do they find a way? How?
V6 just
Every time.
disconnected. He just
I
cringed
wouldn't.
and disconnected.
I think
Ew.
I'd understand him.
Like, worst league ever according to him, bro. I mean, bro, we're just doing this for fun, man. We're not like, we don't have an actual cash prize, man. We just do this for fun.
We do have a Robux prize actually,
Yeah,
but
it's Robux, yeah.
it's
but
it's
not real
competitive
money.
nonetheless. There's no reason to discourage drivers from driving fast, especially
Yeah,
in a league
true.
like this.
That's true, that's Robux at stake, but come on, man. The real reason why we all gather here is just for fun.
Now, because V6 is leading the World Driver Championship and he disconnects here, he will not be scoring any points, obviously.
Yep.
So this means Dom will likely take the lead. Big also having scored, I believe it was what? So 6th and 8th. So he scored 9 points. He'll be taking, well, if he takes P2 here, he'll be taking 18 on top of those 9. So he will also be surpassing V6.
As we can see right now, these two drivers are fighting very fiercely for second place. It's between Twin Turbo and Pailuka, now negotiating with Leon, the back markers. So the FIA will have to issue a blue flag for them so that they can get out of their way. Bigasuga is now running away from Pailuka. Pailuka putting as much pressure as he can within the next 2 laps, hoping he can make another mistake. Only time will tell whether Bigasuga can hold on to second place. Leon,
They're fighting with a back marker, by the way.
Leon is still not giving way for them. Oh, he does now, going at the side, but he has the DRS from Elvis. So he's not letting the two drivers pass. As we can see for a moment there, the Audi driver almost overtakes the Ferrari driver, but he does after the hairpin. Now across the fast-flowing Sector 3, it's neck and neck, but the Audi driver has the advantage. The McLaren hits the wall.
That should be classed as a DNF for Elvis, but I suppose that's not happening yet. I suppose Air Turnus with his spin out should have also been DNF'd, but I haven't seen the full incident.
The lucky, yep. Speaking
this
of
could
luck,
be one of the most controversial races we've seen.
Yep, but it is what it is. It seems like it benefits the drivers mostly because drivers like who was it again? Oh yeah, V6. Remember a big crash between V6, but nothing happened. His front wing still intact. Yeah, he benefited from it. Otherwise, he would have been lost his tires. But yeah, he just decided, oh, this league sucks. I'm gonna rage quit.
Well, yes, you can benefit, but when nobody else is crashing, just because of that, it's not fair either toward anyone. There could have been a few safety cars called out for those who were lapped or starting from the pits, but that didn't happen.
Yep, no safety car indeed, but hey, it's fair for everyone, isn't it?
That's debatable. It's controversial. It's controversial to say the least. Dom also losing 1 second a lap, but he will be celebrating as he has pretty much won this one. There's nobody going to be able to stop him this lap. So we see him finishing the final lap here, maybe losing 2 seconds in the second sector.
You know, in my opinion, with the damage off, it can really shows that Dom is the real fastest driver here, not by any safety car strategy.
Oh, and he slams into a barrier. He slams into a barrier there. That should again be DNF, but hey, we'll take.
Yeah.
And he slams against another barrier.
He's crashing on purpose at this point.
Oh, and that's final. That's it.
Oh, got stuck. Got stuck. It just wanted to go.
Lucas, it's Big takes the win. Ferrari takes the win. What? What a race we've had here, ladies and gentlemen. Big is your winner. Leon finishing as the second person to do so.